In 2024, the South African automotive market took a dramatic turn, with Chinese manufacturers seizing the opportunity to lead the revolution. Armed with competitive pricing, eye-catching features, and an ever-growing network of sleek new dealerships, they have put traditional brands under immense pressure. Major players like Hyundai, Kia, and even Volkswagen are watching with growing concern as these newcomers expand their reach and attract a rapidly growing customer base. Faced with rising living costs, many consumers have shifted their attention to affordable Chinese imports, particularly in the luxury SUV segment. Notable recent entrants include Jetour, a subsidiary of Chery, and Omoda. With their market share surging over the past 2 years, conservative projections estimate Chinese automakers could secure 25% to 30% of the South African market by 2028, possibly climbing as high as 40%.
Standard Bank indicating that they're seeing that in their loan book this year, up to about 36% of that is going towards Chinese brands.
The cars are not only budget-friendly, but also maintain their value surprisingly well.
More Chinese vehicle manufacturers are set to enter the South African market before the end of the year.
President Ramaphosa is visiting a Chinese electric vehicle manufacturer. It's BYD.
Chinese-owned brands have made significant inroads into the mid-range segment, positioning themselves to dominate the South African automotive market. But how did these Chinese companies rise to the top of the mid-range market? Why have they gained such widespread popularity among South Africans? Considering that these brands lack local manufacturing plants, what measures is the government taking to protect domestic car makers, which have been vital contributors to South Africa's economy for over a century? The first key point is that this isn't the first attempt by Chinese-owned brands to break into South Africa's automotive industry. Their initial entry began around 2007, following a period of economic growth in the country. However, many withdrew during the global financial crisis of the late 2000s. In recent years, these brands have returned and firmly established their presence. This resurgence comes at a critical moment, as challenging economic conditions have driven consumers to seek more cost-effective options. From newer models by Chery, Haval, JQ, Jetour, Omoda, GAC, BAIC, and BYD, to the recently introduced Dongfeng from Wuhan, Chinese brands have captivated South African buyers with affordable yet luxurious SUVs and passenger vehicles. The South African Automotive Business Council reports that 2 Chinese brands, Haval and Chery, are performing exceptionally well in the SUV segment. Haval secured the top position, while Chery claimed 3rd place among best-selling SUVs in 2023. Haval also achieved a 3.7% share of the new vehicle market last year, according to the council. Analysts attribute this success to 2 primary factors: competitive pricing and the perceived quality of the vehicles. Experts suggest that the appeal of Chinese cars extends far beyond affordability. Their value proposition is so compelling and so superior to traditional automakers that it's reshaping consumer preferences. Chinese brands take a different approach. Their vehicles come fully loaded, offering exactly what you see without hidden costs, and their technology is top-tier. In contrast, legacy brands often advertise a base price that climbs significantly once you add features like a panoramic roof or 360-degree cameras. With a Chinese car, those extras are typically included in the standard package. Since their initial entry into the South African market, Chinese cars have made significant improvements in quality. Today, they excel in areas like technology and software integration, giving them a clear edge over competitors. And their pricing hits the sweet spot, offering exceptional value for the features provided, which has helped them dominate the mid-market segment. Historically, the South African car market revolved around status symbols, with German brands like BMW, Audi, and Land Rover serving as markers of success. Brand loyalty to these established names was strong. However, over the past decade, rising inflation, surging car prices, and an increasing cost of living have shifted consumer priorities. South Africans are now more focused on value than on maintaining a luxury image. This price-conscious environment created the perfect opening for Chinese brands. They returned to the market at just the right time, offering vehicles that look and feel like quality products at a fraction of the cost of their competitors, without needing to work hard to convince buyers. All of this success has encouraged China's Great Wall Motors, the owner of the Haval, P-Series, and Tank brands, to reveal plans to engage with stakeholders about producing vehicles in South Africa. However, setting up local manufacturing is a costly endeavor that requires a broader customer base beyond South Africa to be financially viable. As it stands, a local plant seems unlikely in the short term, possibly within 10 years, but not anytime soon. This raises an important question. Why are South Africans so eager to support Chinese manufacturers when German automakers with established plants in the country contribute significantly to job creation and tax revenue? Currently, South African-based automakers export vehicles to the US, Europe, the Middle East, and other African countries, playing a critical role in global trade. This contribution underscores the importance of protecting and sustaining local manufacturers, a sentiment echoed by the South African government and industry leaders. Naamsa CEO has emphasized the need to safeguard the sustainability of the local automotive market and honor the long-standing investments made by traditional car brands. Many of these companies have been operating in South Africa for over a century, playing a pivotal role in industrialization, job creation, education, and community development. Protecting their presence and encouraging continued investment is seen as a shared national responsibility. Naamsa also called on Chinese automakers to demonstrate their commitment to South Africa by establishing manufacturing and assembly plants within the country, rather than simply importing vehicles. This, the organization argued, would not only support local industrialization, but also ensure tangible benefits for the South African economy and its people. Such a trade-off would help level the playing field for local automakers while fostering long-term growth and development. Whenever South Africans find affordable Chinese products, local businesses often push the government to impose excessive tariffs. We've seen this play out with platforms like Shein and Temu, where companies like Takealot and the TFG Group, known for their steep prices, reacted in ways reminiscent of how traditional automakers are responding to the influx of Chinese cars. That said, it's important to recognize that every country with a vehicle manufacturing industry has a responsibility to protect and support its domestic production base. If you examine China's incentive programs and the measures it takes to shield its local manufacturers, it's clear their government has made a deliberate effort to ensure these companies are safeguarded and positioned to thrive on a global scale. Despite this, the products they offer provide such exceptional value for money that South African consumers find them hard to resist.